Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is part 3 of my YouTube mini-series on helping new YouTubers, uploaders with common things like video rendering and recording and commentary creation and just general do's and don'ts on running a YouTube channel, especially a gaming one. So in part 1 I covered the types of recording apps available, the most commonly known at least, that you can use to record both games and desktop and even a commentary audio file if necessary without recording a video. And in part 2 I showed you how to render an already edited video in a good enough quality so that it works and looks pretty good after you upload it to YouTube. Today I will go over some basic tips on how to mass produce videos for easy uploading. Now, mass production is a term, for me at least, that refers to the ease with which you might get your videos ready for uploading to YouTube. Now this doesn't actually work only with YouTube. It's just an idea that when you do something that is the same many times over, you should try to minimize the steps you take that go into the project every time that are the same. So I think mass production is only a term that should concern people that are serious about YouTube, that will upload regularly and stick to some kind of schedule, and not people that upload as they want or in a very chaotic manner, and or even if they make a one-off video, like a machinima or a music video or whatever. Now, the idea of mass production, I should also mention, does not mean spamming YouTube with your videos. First of all, spamming is absolutely never a good idea. And secondly, there is still some work that goes into completing the whole project, even after with several things you already have ready saved for you by the process of mass production that are ready beforehand. So right now I will show you what I mean specifically by mass production and show you a few specific examples of my own ideas that work for me, that I came up with over time, that saved me time in making videos. Now this obviously doesn't mean that everyone must do the same thing, because obviously people are different and they will go for different things and different ideas, but the concept itself is still there, and this specific one is my own version. Now, before I actually show you my own saved ideas and projects, I will try to explain what I mean by all this mass production nonsense. Basically, I mean to say that whenever you are making many similar videos and uploading them to YouTube, these ideas will come in handy to save you some time, so you wouldn't have to repeat the whole process every time from the beginning, as you will already have a certain framework already saved for you. Now obviously you will still need to work on your video and edit it to get it right for the final result that you want, but as I said, the framework will already be there for you, that is saved from the last time that you did it. So this specific example I'm going to use is my loadout series, because I think it's the perfect example of a repeating project with many similar settings that need a framework already for them, so as not to repeat them every week, wasting valuable time as a lot of time is already used on editing and rendering, and you just don't need to add on over that. So this right here is an episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you can see, my latest episode that has already been edited completely and is ready for rendering, for output. Now, as you can see, it already has the commentary. This is the track, the audio track that has the commentary. It already has the gameplay, the sound, some effects, some subtle effects applied to the video, which I already showed you in. I suggest you check out my second episode of this mini-series for YouTubers as to the properties and effects I use for rendering output of these videos. And also you can see that I already have several gun stat overlays right here as a separate video right here that is actually I made it in After Effects, and I rendered it with an alpha channel so that I can overlay them on a regular video on my gameplay, and it will be transparent. But more on that in a second, as I will go over and discuss After Effects. Now, if I delete everything, all the content of this commentary right here, all the transitions, all the gun overlays, let's see, this, that. This is what my original saved project looks like. This is what I use for my mass production rendering as a project that I start off with every time. What it has is only a couple of very small subtle parts. In the beginning it has my 4-second intro, which I made in After Effects, and I've already imported it, and it has its own sound obviously. Now right here I have this Votra overlay, which obviously you won't have, that I put over all of my videos. It's just a transparent PNG file with the Votra logo in the bottom. And right here I have my outro video that I rendered in After Effects, and more on that in a second. But you can see that this outro is just a small video file. It's about 12 seconds long, and it already has a sound next to it, and it's grouped with the sound so that I can move it to any point in time. Obviously, wherever my video might end, it might end here, and I might move it right over here so that the next video will just end with this outro. So as you can see, it's all very, very simple and very straightforward. And when I render an output for my video, I just go to File, Render As, and obviously I have this saved profile for my rendering output that renders in 1440p, and I explained all these settings for you in my second episode of this YouTube mini tutorial. So if you want to see what I put into this saved profile, you might want to take a look at that. And so right now I will go to After Effects, and I will show you a couple of other things that I do pre-saved, that I try to render out for my pre-saved project, like this outro and the gun stats overlay that I use every week in my videos. So right now, as you can see, I am in After Effects because as part 2 of this video, I would like to show you all the custom renders, the videos that I make in After Effects for each of my pre-saved video projects. Now, this is the custom outro which I render for each video, and it's pretty damn simple. It's just a background I photoshopped of a battlefield guy and a couple of words here, a couple of titles and everything, and they just get filled in with, they are overlaid, alphaed over some smoke footage, which is just a custom thing that I came up with. And incidentally, I have a very simple, similar outro tutorial in one of my videos I made quite a while ago. So if you want to go ahead and check that out to see how to make a very simple outro that is very procedural and very easy to modify before rendering of each video. Now, the reason I render a different outro for each video that I make is because I always link to 2 videos at the back of my outro in the annotations, and I want the annotations to show the correct video footage. So that is why I insert 2 actual video files into of previous videos into my placeholders. I have 2 placeholders here and here on my outro, which will automatically resize and place them and position them on this outro because everything I made is pretty because these are pre-composed placeholders. So let's do that right now. This is placeholder 1, this is placeholder 2. And as you will see right now, they both will show up right here. So right now I'm going to go to this folder, and let's say I want to import these 2 videos. These are 2 of my previous videos. If I can just import them over here and wait for them to import. Alright, so now they are imported. I'm going to take one of them, drag it into placeholder 1. I'm going to scale it up a little bit because it's not very, and I can even move it lengthwise, point it to the right time or whatever. It really doesn't matter. And right now I'm going to go to placeholder 2, place the second video in placeholder 2, scale it up just as I did before by pressing S, and I can move it, position it whichever way I want. Now, since these are both videos in the placeholders, when I go back to my outro composition, you can see now that these 2 videos have taken place inside these placeholders. They are already positioned right, and they are scaled down, as you can see, to the correct size. So basically this is the entire idea behind the custom outro. Every time that I do, I can let's see, I can play it right now for a little bit for you, if it will just render in. You can see that the videos is actually moving as it is a video footage file, an actual video, and you can see the smoke is going to fill in these words right here. You can see the subscribe is going to come up because there will be an annotation overlaid over this soldier which is going to say subscribe. So that's just something I personally wanted to showcase. So so that everything will be lined up. These things are already pre-scaled and pre-positioned. Alright, so right now that that is done, let's say I want to render this custom outro. So just as per usual, I would go to composition, add to render queue, and thing is, when I want to render it, I always render it on the same settings, and what I want to do is I always want to render it with the same file name. And the reason I want to do that is because I already have this outro.mov inserted into my pre-saved Sony Vegas project, as I said before, which is already saved, as you remember, because I already created this project beforehand, and I placed this outro MOV into this project. So every time that I render it with the same file name into the same folder, this outro file, this outro video file will get replaced, and thus when I open this Sony Vegas project, the new outro will pop up automatically here because it has already been overwritten, and this reference points to that same file with that same file name, and so I don't have to import a different movie, a different outro every time I make a new outro, which is, for every video. And while I am in After Effects, I wanted to go ahead and show you another little bit of pre-saved kit that I made, a project for the gun stats overlay that I created. Now, this obviously is a completely my creation it's a very, very simple thing actually. It's just a bunch of text with a picture on top, and it's rendered out with an alpha channel so that, as you may remember, I will overlay it on my loadout footage, and it will have a transparent background. So, it's probably not going to be right for your video, but I just want to show it to you because there are some design decisions here which might give you a few ideas for your own videos of a similar nature. Now, this is, well, as you can see, this is just a black background, and it's actually no background. If I turn on the transparency, you can see it. So all of this checkered background is going to become an alpha channel, so you can see it's going to be completely transparent. Now, these are just words. As you can see, they are gun stats that I typed. These are just actually two text boxes here and here, and I just used a nice LCD font, and the reason I did that is because I keyframed, as you can see, the character offset so that you can see the letters when they generate on, they sort of change value, and they type themselves on. It's sort of a digital look that I wanted to create. I'm going to press play here so you can see just what happens. You can see that when you see the letter, it doesn't come to the right letter from the very beginning. It actually generates through a number of letters and then comes up with the right one. And same with the gun. The gun, it actually has a stroke effect applied to it, and I do that with every picture, so it will draw itself on. And there is even an LCD clicking sort of sound on there in the background, but that's not really important. Now, the important thing is the gun picture itself. I'm going to show you that as well. Let's say, let me go back to my videos folder. Let's say I want to import this M9 picture right here. I want to import it right here, and I'm going to show you just exactly how I made the gun to draw itself on. I'm going to import it, and this is a pre-composed composition that I made here. So anything I place inside it will automatically show up in my gun data composition. But as you can see right now, when I placed the different picture in it, it came up completely wrong. It's not showing up right. And this is because my weapon composition has a stroke effect applied to the masks on the gun picture. Now here are all the masks, and as you can see, the masks right now point to an M16 shape, and that's why you couldn't see this new picture shape. So right now, if I just select all these masks and delete them, I can go and auto trace this new layer, this M9. See, that's pretty good. So I'm going to auto trace it right now, and I'm going to turn the stroke effect back on. And when I do that, you can see that now when I scrub through the timeline here, you can see that the new picture will actually draw itself on because it's using the masks that I just generated with the auto trace feature. And here you can see I keyframed the two values. Right now it's at 0 and right now it's at 100. So you see this is the stroke effect that's filling in the gun. And obviously when I will go and render this, add this to render queue and set a render output type, I will go and select lossless with alpha. I want some type of container that will support a fourth alpha channel because you can't have just any movie type support an alpha channel. You need one that supports 4 channels of red, green, blue, and alpha channel. So this is one of them that I will use, and I will output it to the same folder, and then I will just import it to my loadout video. And as you can see, it's transparent and it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? And another real quick side note about this gun overlay that I made that may have nothing to do with you or your video or whatever you come up with, but I just wanted to mention real quick, is that I placed these ruler lines here not by mistake. This was intentional. This was for my own reference point, as these are the lines that in a Battlefield 4 gameplay I noticed that won't let the text overlay any other text or pictures. For example, there is a mini-map in this corner, and this is what I noted off with this ruler right here. So I don't want this text to go below that. And also there is the kill feed in this corner right here, and so that is why I placed this ruler right here. So because I don't want this text to go above that, because when if it will overlay the kill feed, it won't look nice and you won't be able to read any of the texts anyway. So this is just something that I came up with to give it a little bit of extra niceness to the to the rendered final result. Now the last tip that I could give you has to be with Photoshop and mass producing your thumbnails for your video. Now I'm going to open this very common template that I use for my Battlefield icons, which is most of them. This is a typical thumbnail. I would use something like this for my loadout episodes, and in fact most other videos that you could name. So because thumbnails are basically small movie posters, you want them to really stand out, so you want to put some effort into them, obviously, and because you want to kind of save time on if you're doing them constantly, and most of them are sort of the same, you want to come up with a design that you can easily modify. So let's take my loadout, for example. Most of them go like this. I have some sort of a background picture like this maybe, or like this one with battlefield glare and things like that. And I will put a I will either modify it with a bit of exposure or hue or saturation, but it's that's completely up to you. So what I will do is I will go and take a screenshot of the battlefield loadout screen of the weapon that I am currently using. I will try to cut it out just with the selection tool, kind of roughly fix it up in places that I need it, and then I will probably apply a exposure, and I will probably use a clipping mask to apply the exposure just to these weapons, because I kind of want them to pop a little bit, to stand out, to be a little bit more colorful. As you can see, this is the standard weapon, and this is one with the exposure effect applied. So see, it's a little bit more contrast, maybe a little bit more saturated, just a bit. You don't want to go overboard. Now, as with any thumbnail, you sometimes want to apply text to it. And this is the text that I have for this particular loadout. And it's pretty straightforward. I have actually another video on, a real short video on how to make this Battlefield 3 and very similar Battlefield 4 text effect. Basically, what it comes down to is this. You type just a white text. You take, this is actually the Battlefield 4 font. It's called Orbitron, I believe. Yes, there it is. So there you go. You can type that, you see? And you can make it white, obviously, and bold if you want, but that's completely up to you. And then what you have to do is I use this background layer as a sort of lines that I will then put behind my text. I will cut it out. As for the letters, like this, I will control click the layer. You will select all the pixels in that layer. Go to modify expand it by, let's say, 4 or say 8 pixels. 8 is too much, so let's go with 4. So we have a selection that's a little bit bigger than the text. Now you apply that selection to this layer of lines, and you select the inverse. Now when you select the inverse, you just click delete, and now what you have left is only the lines. So you can deselect this, and you can then apply a slight blur effect to the lines. You can make a new layer and fill it with a slightly more yellow color to fill in between those lines, and that's completely up to you. You can check out how to do that in my tutorial for the Battlefield 3 text font effect for the thumbnails. And so basically what you want to do is have this set up more or less as your pattern, for which you can later use, like, say for example, you want this text font set up, maybe a background, maybe this layer of lines that you can cut out later as your background for the lettering, and so on and so forth. So just something to make your life a little bit easier. And you can check out how to make these lines in the Battlefield 3 font tutorial, as I said, which I'll link to the back of this video. So I hope this episode has helped you even a little bit, maybe given you some ideas as to how to set up your own mass production of videos and After Effects, thumbnails, and your uh, project layout. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.